a closer look. If you're looking for household items that will make your house look not just fun but also quirky, then you should go to Turquoise. And speaking of quirky, what do you do when you're the god of Bollywood for the Aam Janta and you end up taking up a role where you're playing a 60-year-old man in love with a 16-year-old woman? Well, at some point, either before or after the release of the film, you tend to justify that. Not the act of cradle snatching, but in fact, the challenge of taking up a role like that. And the smart ones decide to do it before. So here is Big B with his take on Nishabd.
Angry when young, in love at the age of 60 with a girl who's 18 years old. Yes, that's how diverse Amitabh Bachchan is in his forthcoming film, Nishabd. I'm in conversation with the man right now. Amiji, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How was it to romance an 18-year-old on screen?
Interesting. It's not really a romance in the true sense of the word.
Okay.
It's more a situation where an elderly gentleman gets attracted towards an 18-year-old or vice versa. And what would happen in those circumstances?
But would you still...
More the film about that rather than a deliberate effort to go out looking for somebody who's 18 years old.
But do you think that the people will take it as what you've just said about the movie? Don't you think that...
We'll find out once the film is released. But that is what we're here to actually converse about, is that it's not whether it's going to be, why it's going to be, whether it should be, what is society going to say, how can you do this, how can you do that. It's not about that. It's a given that this situation does exist. Now what? Every piece of creation is some kind of imagination, some kind of thought process. It's not a reality situation. Though, at the same time, you cannot debate the fact that there are incidents like this that happen in society. Older people do get attracted to younger women, and younger women get attracted to older men. So we're not saying it's too far removed from reality, but even if it was, I think that's the whole creative process.
But don't you think that the movie runs a high risk of doing horribly not well at...
Well, we'll find out, once the film is released.
And Gia has said repeatedly that she was, had a crush on you and, it was brilliant to work with you. And what do you have to say about working with her?
I think she's a very accomplished artist. For someone that is setting out to work in her very first film, she's done marvelously well. And never, ever did any of us get the feeling that this a newcomer and the first time facing the camera. She's trained well, and she fits the role perfectly, and she's done a marvelous job.
One last question, Anuji. Why should one go and watch Nishabd?
Because I think it's different, it's sensitive, and it's an odd situation, but it's done very sensitively and aesthetically.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
In conversation with Amitabh Bachchan on Nishabd, this is Vikram Thapa from Mumbai for NDTV.